Hello there. Today's Sunday. Today I was reading an article about cash, about a woman who had decided that she was going to start keeping cash in her apartment. And I thought that was interesting because to me, I don't like physical cash. Not that I don't like physical cash, I just don't like the idea of having to try and track it. That's really it. I don't love tracking physical cash because it's hard and there's not really a good way to do it. Like there's lots of ways to do it. There's lots of controls that you can put in place, and you can certainly limit the risk of errors or that sort of thing. Mostly errors, I guess, if it's your own cash. But there's not really a great way to track cash and ensure that it's accurate. So I don't love it for that reason, but I have been thinking about what maybe the pros and cons of having cash on hand is. And I know that more and more we think about cash as just not paying credit. So we pay debit, we pay cash, or I'm having that physical cash. And I after reading this article, she was talking about how because of the pandemic, at some point maybe cash would be all that she would be able to spend, because if there was a power outage, like she was also talking about storms because I think she lives in the East, but a storm happens and there's a power outage, then cash may be the only thing that you have access to, because the debit machines and credit machines don't work. You can't get on your computer. Maybe, I guess you'd have your phone to do an e-transfer, but you can't like e-transfer a grocery store, for example. So having cash in that case would be really, really good idea. And I have to agree to that. So from the personal perspective, I think having cash in your apartment or your house, or having cash wherever you live, is a good idea in case you need to use it because you cannot use a different form of payment. I think too that in paying cash, you really, like in physically handing over cash, it feels different than paying credit, right? Like it's really easy to either shop online or we go to the store or something like that, and we pay credit and it doesn't really feel like we're spending money. But when you hand over a physical bill, it feels like you're spending money. And so if you're having problems with, or not problems, but you really want to be able to control your spending and you really want to stick to a budget, only spending cash is a really good way to do that. If you can do like an envelope program, it's not a program, plan, where you have envelopes that are written on, that say like groceries or, I was going to say rent, but you wouldn't pay rent by cash. But that you have these envelopes of like entertainment, clothing, that sort of thing, and you only get to spend what's in those envelopes for the month. And if you spend it, that's it. That's all you get. And it's really an easy way, and that's easy is maybe an overstatement, but it's a really good way to make sure that you're not overspending in any particular area. So in that way, cash can be super good, can be really useful. I do recommend having a little bit of cash on hand in your place that you live. I was going to say apartment again, just in case. But on the other side of that, I really don't love cash because it's hard to track. So if you are a person that really wants to be able to track everything that you're spending, cash is going to make it really hard to do that. And that is why a lot of businesses are going cashless. Not a lot. Some businesses are going cashless because it is very hard to track that cash going in and out of your till. And it's a lot easier to track the digital payments that you're getting by debit and credit. It's also, right now, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, you don't have to actually hand over cash, right? So that surface transfer definitely is reduced when all you have to do is like tap your card. So overall, love-hate relationship with cash, I think. There's definitely benefits to it, and I think that when used correctly or when used as a tool, it can be useful. But generally speaking, I really don't love the idea of using cash all the time. I would rather pay debit for something, or in my case, I like to actually pay credit for everything because I get points on my credit card and then I just pay it off at the end of the month. And it's a really easy way for all of my expenses to go through one space, so I can track them really easily. It's all in one account. But that's me. I love to track every little penny that's going through. And on the business side too, I don't take cash, mostly because I don't see people. So there's no opportunity to take cash, but I don't generally take physical cash. I do every now and again if necessary, but I definitely would prefer to not, because then there's a proof that I actually was paid. So that is my pros and cons of cash for you. If you have questions about that, about tracking cash in your business, or about how as an individual you could use cash to help you to curb your spending a little bit, then let me know in the comments. I would love to chat with you about this, because I love this kind of thing. If you want tips and tricks sent to you every week about accounting and tax, then sign up for my newsletter. I've left the link in the description. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you tomorrow.